Hello once again and welcome to our video series Pricing in 10 Minutes. My name is Sebastian. I'm a partner here at HI and responsible for our pricing and sales business unit. And I'd like to walk you through the major steps of how to migrate a software license model to a subscription model. What we believe at HI is probably the largest pricing opportunity you can yield in case you still operate on a license-based model. If you think that that's an outdated topic, well, hell no. In Germany, at least, we see that almost 50% of the software, enterprise software revenues are still coming from on-premise solutions, which are usually operated on an on-premise license and maintenance model. So yes, there are a lot of companies that still have this once in a decade opportunity ahead of them. When I refer to subscription migration, I mean that we are changing the monetization model from license maintenance to a subscription model, which obviously yields significantly higher ARR. It does not necessarily mean that we are switching from on-premise to SaaS. That can be part of the whole thing, but it doesn't have to be. So we are just talking about the commercial part here. When we are doing pricing projects for software companies, we often have four things that we do. The first thing on the left-hand side is that we just do plain price increases. It sounds boring, but very often there's a lot of potential of increasing prices 10 to 20%. And if nothing bad happens, the ARR increases in the same way. If we cluster, and remember this word, I'm saying this more often in the next few minutes, if we cluster our customer base and create a structured price improvement plan, this ARR upside can go up to 35%. If we change the whole price model and again, migrate customers towards it, we see upsides of up to 50%, but the holy grail for pricing people like me is the migration from license to subscription. We've seen revenue more than doubling in the past, and I'm showing a few examples, not only, but also the process how to do it. Here are 4 clients we worked with in the last 1.5 years. On exactly this topic of migrating a license model to a subscription model. And you can see the yellow numbers or the yellow boxes that the revenue upside was somewhere between 40 and 72% in this case. However, what you see on the upper side are the clusters. So some customers got a price increase, and I take client 3 as an example, of only 5%. Others tripled not in ARR, but in price increase. So they got a price increase of up to 250%. So yes, there's a strong difference in the different clusters, not only by the, let's say, stickiness and loyalty of the customers, but also how we deal with them in terms of pricing. We have written a white paper on the 10 fundamental steps of such a migration project. You can go on our website, it's hy.co, hy.co. Then you go on the blog and then you can read it. It's in German and in English, so whatever you prefer. Today I'll have to keep it short to stay more or less in the 10 minutes. So I'm not going through the 10 fundamental steps, but I'm just explaining 5 key success factors for such a successful migration. The first one is a clear view on competition. The second one is clustering your customer base properly. Thirdly is assessing and then tapping the willingness to pay. Fourth is a diligent execution. And fifth is, once the execution started, also an iteration to the results that you face. Let's start with number 1, competition. So before you start this whole exercise, you should look at what competitive alternatives your customers may have. We're talking about existing customers who, if we offer them a switch to a subscription model with a price increase, they may look out for alternatives. The typical thing we do is a mystery shopping. So we check what the competitive offers would be for our client base. And once we have this information, like here on the lower hand, and sorry for the German slides, partly at least, but I hope you can see the green arrows, we are checking what price increase, when would we meet a competitive offering. So in this case, in this case, 5 different competitors. So if we, I don't know, double the price, triple the price, in this case, quadruplicate the price, you will see that the arrows basically touch the competitive prices, which is maybe a warning sign in one or the other case. Thus, we are clustering our customers. There may be customer bases who have no alternative, who just will stay with you no matter what pricing we will change. Others maybe have alternative, are not that sticky, are not that loyal, thus they get a lower price increase. So here, if we take out again company, so our client number 3, some of the clients get a price increase of 39% only, while others get almost 200% price increase. So we are doing a differentiated price migration. Not everybody will get the same price or same price increase, but we are looking very diligently at where we can go for each customer to ensure that they stay customers after this migration to the subscription model. We also see that sometimes in some clusters, we realize the best results despite the highest price increase. So here for this client, we created 6 clusters. And on the left-hand side, cluster number 1 got the steepest price increase of 95%. But nevertheless, 57%, that's the blue number here, stayed with that client, with our client. So the overall effect was 69%. So the strongest price increase also yielded the highest revenue upside. So how do you find the perfect, well, not the perfect, but the right willingness to pay of your client? So you have to check what the competitors' prices would be compared to our new prices. You need to see what migration costs the customers have. So not only the new software costs, but also maybe switching costs, transactional costs. There's a lot of, let's say, implicit costs, training costs that may come on top. Customer health. So hopefully you have a customer health score, which includes NPS, loyalty, growth over time, and customer happiness, to see how healthy the client relationship is. And as a combination, you can derive the churn risk for every single client. Here, if we take out the highlighted client number 28, we have a scorecard where we used different churn drivers like usage or non-usage, interest for specific products, number of users, customer happiness, and price sensitivity into a churn score. And in this case, the higher the churn score, the more likely that the customer will stay. So this client here has a particularly good churn score. Thus, we assume that we can, in this case, more than double the prices without losing the customer. At High, we are well known that we are not only doing pretty slides. Actually, we are known for not doing that many pretty slides, but we are also known for doing the dirty implementation work. That's what we strive for. So we accompany our clients not only in the design, but also in the execution phase. And what many clients need for such an important migration project in execution are, for example, concrete communication packages for their clients, sales support materials, partner guides if there's an external sales, partner sales, for example, business case tools, migration management, so which customers will be touched with which prices, which argumentation, at what time. We create also offer packages, so including alternatives. For example, if we see that this one price point we're offering may not be the perfect fit, and also migration cards. So sales has basically a little spreadsheet with all the information for this client they are calling next. What should be the price point? What's the fallback? What's the communication? What's the argumentation? And so on to prepare the sales talk efficiently. There are a lot of tactics that we apply. I just take out migration incentives. So if we see that a certain client for them it's important to get certain features, certain contract terms, certain support levels. We can integrate them into very specific incentives to migrate, but it can also be negative migration incentive. So we just increase our old license maintenance model, which we would call then the ugly brother. And maybe also it's not an opportunity, but a possible threat to cancel the maintenance contract to ensure that the customer prefers or chooses the new way. I switched to the last part, iteration, because once you've started this process of calling clients, of migrating them, you will learn a lot. And it's probably, even after all the work we have done, the most important part. So what we see sometimes here on the left-hand side is an overperformance. So we see that we successfully migrate all the clients to our new model, which is a sign for us, a signal that we could maybe yield more. So in this case here, we have inserted a Premium Plus subscription on top of the regular subscription with more services, with higher price that we try to aim to move our customers to. And on the right hand side at the underperformance, if we see that we really struggle moving some clusters to a certain product, we also can create a lower price subscription to ensure that customers do not churn. You see, it's a complicated topic. If you want to learn more, just get in touch. We also have a few podcasts on subscription migration with some software experts, private equity experts. They are in German though, so a good opportunity to improve your German. But if you want to learn more, obviously you can also write me an email and then let's talk about your challenge. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and I hope we speak soon.